Hi, I'm Essie.
And I'm Elle.
Welcome back to Magic and Mayhem.
Delicious. Delicious. I don't know. My brain's operating at like 5%.
We're back again for Summerween.
Summerween!
Yay!
Yay, Summerween!
Which is July 5th through July 11th.
Woo. A readathon hosted by Gabby Reads. She hosts it every year. This is the 5th year
Wow.
of Summerween. Yep. So obviously we're going to tag Gabby down below, who has created this and the prompts, and her sister Rachel created all the beautiful like visuals and everything for the readathon. So, and we did the readathon this year.
And since we've decided to do more readathons this year / possibly into next year, obviously we jumped right on Summerween.
Of course, always.
And also, who doesn't like, well, usually it's Christmas in July, but it's not this time.
No.
This time it is Halloween in July.
Because honestly, I agree. I'm over summer already.
For real.
I'm ready for Halloween season. Let's go.
Absolutely. Bring on the fall time. There's 5 prompts for Summerween, and they are, the first one is read a book in the dark. Second one, read a thriller or horror. Read a book with a night sky on the cover. Read a book with 5 words in the title. Read a book that takes place in the summer.
Also, there were daily prompts for social media as well, but we did not do that because that was a little too much. So we just did the reading prompts, which is all you have to do for the reading prompt. And actually, you don't even have to do the reading prompts if you don't want to.
So to start with, for prompt number 1, read a book in the dark, I was planning to do Black Water for this one, but that didn't actually happen. Instead, I did Girls Save the World in this one. And I heard it described often as kind of a like zombie Clueless mashup, which it's not
amazing.
It's not actually far off. It's got lots of zombies and all that, and it's definitely got the kind of Clueless vibes based on the Friends group and, well, the drama. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah, Clueless has so much drama.
So much drama.
It's high schoolers, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, it was a fun read. I actually I know you're not supposed to, but I had gotten attached to this couple of these characters, and it was a bad choice.
No.
I mean,
no.
It's like I was actually upset about a couple of the deaths.
Okay, never mind. I'm not reading it.
It wasn't that bad. Mainly one. There was mostly one death.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was like, yay, zombies.
Which I'm surprised because you don't typically like zombie books.
I do not. I almost didn't pick it up, but the talking about like kind of a Clueless vibe I decided to forego my misgivings on the zombie part and just go with it. Read a book in the dark, and they said you can read it at night. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but of course I read it digitally, so it didn't matter.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of digital books, obviously, because there's a backlight and you're fine. So your read a book in the dark was
Bloom by N.R. Walker. Which no, this is not a thriller or horror or anything like that.
Well, that prompt did not have to be.
Exactly. So I read what I wanted to read. But this was very cute. It was very, very low stakes for most of it. And it was about a florist. It was very cute, and there was lots of using flowers to send a message.
Oh, language of the flowers?
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I loved it. I loved that part of it. It was very cute, and I did read this digitally at night. It was like midnight or something.
That's definitely night.
Yep.
It does look really cute.
Yeah. I tend to read at like 11 or midnight, so I was like, reading in the dark is not going to be a problem.
Right? Yeah.
When I should be asleep, but I am not.
Good old insomnia.
Right? Insomnia.
So then the next prompt was read a thriller or horror. So for this one, I read a horror, and that was The Black Girl Survives in this one. This one was an anthology, so it had multiple horror stories. I can't remember how many. It escapes me at the moment, but there were a lot. There were a lot, and several different authors. I feel like with this one, the first like two or three were the most creepy. The other ones, like, they didn't quite have the same creepy fact. They were all horror, but the first few were the most creepy in this one. In my personal opinion, I liked all of them. I feel like this is fairly light horror. So if you just want to kind of jump in to the horror genre without necessarily knowing if you like horror, this would be a fantastic pick, since you get to try. There's all kinds of scenarios in it, so you get to try a little bit of all kinds of the horror like trope. So, and I think if you like horror, this is a good one still for you. But yeah, definitely can recommend. It was good.
Okay, then I actually read a horror. I know you're all shocked because I don't read horror,
Shock
but
and awe.
I did actually read a horror. I read House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. This was really good. I was a little bit worried because y'all know I'm not a big horror person unless it's like funny horror. For whatever reason, I'm down for funny horror, but this was really good. It actually was a little bit funny. I kind of thought it might be funnier. I thought it might be funnier, even than it was, but it had funny moments. Um, but this was in the beginning. It was very much creepy horror because you don't know what's going on, but it's just like enough to be unsettling. And towards the end, it kind of left creepy horror and went more into action. But it was very good.
You were not enjoying the first.
Yeah,
you were so tense though.
I can attest. I don't like creepy horror, and I didn't like it in the beginning of this either because I'm like, I don't like creepy horror.
And you were like, "Oh, you'll like this one."
Yeah, I told her she'd like this one because she likes creepy horror, but and I don't like jump scare horror or anything like that either. I don't mind blatant horror, I guess, where it's like monsters are trying to get you
like
right now.
Like the first book I mentioned.
Yeah, like that. Like that doesn't bother me, but
it's just zombies chasing you.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. Zombies, absolutely fine. But yeah, so it was really good, and I know it's not everyone's favorite T. Kingfisher. Probably not my favorite either, but I still had a good time with
So next prompt is read a book with a night sky on the cover. And for that one, since there's a gigantic moon in the background and clouds and everything, I immediately was like, oh, perfect. So the Alchemy of Moonlight was my pick, since can't get more night sky than that.
Right?
So, this one was about
Alchemy and Moonlight.
Yeah. I feel like it's not super spoilery, but I also don't want to spoil. Like, it's literally stuff is on the cover, so I feel like you can figure it out. But I don't want to give away if you can't figure it out. It's kind of a fantasy. I don't think it is in the horror genre. It's got some elements for that, quite a lot of elements, but I don't think it actually was called a horror. For example, this isn't spoiler, but the main character finds a dead person on like the first few pages.
So, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah, literally the first few pages. So I feel like that's not spoilery. But so obviously you figure out pretty quickly into it there's going to be a substantial amount of death that occurs in the book, which there is quite a bit of that. There's a bit of gore. So I guess I didn't think it was too bad, but we all know idea of Too Bad might not be the same as everyone else's.
No,
But
probably not.
but I didn't think it was that bad. So if you're used to it, you're probably completely fine reading this. There is kind of a love triangle going on. I didn't mind it. I mean, I minded at first. It was very dramatic. kind of kind of like Clueless style drama. But you also had the gore to balance out, well, and the suspense or whatever. I did enjoy it, but it's not my absolute like favorite fantasy or anything. But again, I deserved it because I did suspect what I was getting into.
Gotcha.
I suspected.
Okay, so then what I read for Nice Guy was Hollow. So this is a graphic novel. I believe it's considered like a YA graphic novel, although it almost reads more middle grade, but the characters I think are teenagers. But just how the story is told, it almost feels more middle grade, but it was super cute. Obviously, it's based on Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it's based in the town.
Ichabod Crane.
Yeah. Well, and the main character's name is Crane, or Izzy. So, one of the Crane family. And so it's very cute, and it's, of course, people are seeing the Headless Horseman and stuff, and
all the Sleepy Hollow stuff.
yes. And I will say, though, the second that the villain comes on page, you know they're the villain. It is not a secret at all. You can tell immediately that they're the villain.
It would have been more funny if, like, there's this super villainous looking character and then they're the nicest little. That would have been hilarious.
There's a bit of that too, but like the main villain, oh, you can tell immediately. If you don't like predictable, you're probably not gonna like this. But I just thought it was cute, like easy, fast read. And it was queer. It was really sweet, and I like the characters. So yeah, I actually kind of want more from. I can't say which characters. But there are some characters like I wish we had more story with them because that would have been really fun. But it was really cute and it was really great and I enjoyed it. And it had a night sky, so
and it's got the
I
creepy
couldn't find anything that I own that had a night sky on it.
Yeah, it's a little hard.
I thought it would be such an easy thing to find. No.
It should have been.
No.
So the next prompt is read a book with 5 words in the title. And my pick for a creepy book with 5 words in the title is The Stars Did Wander, Darkling. And that one, this book was so weird. It's a middle grade kind. I think it's middle grade. Got some creepy vibes. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's got like an unsettling vibe in this town. There's obviously things going on, and then these kids are stumbling into things that are really creepy for them. I will say that not everyone survives. It's not anything too terribly gory. I enjoyed it? Question mark.
I enjoyed it non-affectionate?
Yes. I more or less enjoyed it. It was some points were left very vague and it kind of bugged me in some places where, the magic was kind of vague and undefined, and so sometimes that can bug me a little bit.
Okay, so then because House of Good Bones has 5 words in the title, although I was looking around while we were talking, I was like, I actually have a lot of books with 5 or more words in the title.
This one was the one that I had trouble finding. Like,
I had a lot. I probably could have read another book, like if I'd had time to, which I really didn't, which is why I ended up, because that was the one I was playing from the start. Basically, it was House of Good Bones for the 5-word prompt. But I'm like looking around. I'm like, I actually have quite a few books with 5 words in the title or more. I think it was 5 or more, but
lucky, because me going through everything, I was like, oh, crap. It doesn't have 5 words. Well, it's like 4 words or whatever.
I still did a repeat, but I'm happy with the one I chose. So there you go.
Then the last prompt was read a book that takes place in the summer. My pick for this, since they had just gotten out of school and it was time for summer, was The Other Wood. And this one features, this isn't a spoiler, this one features a non binary character. Kind of tell from the cover, it's got the spooky, like, monster vibes. And this one on the list might be my favorite of the ones that I read for Summerween. There's a couple that are like in competition for my favorite. This one is definitely in the top, and it's definitely the main character made the book really, and the fact that the main character is obviously the hero in the story. However, the amount of reluctance
We love a reluctant
is
hero.
so relatable. They're like, no, I won't be the hero. I will not be the hero. You can't make me be the hero.
Fair, yep.
Super reluctant hero. Had to be dragged along.
Yeah.
And it was just adorable because, most of the time, more or less, the hero of the story just goes charging in.
Yeah.
And, that's just how the heroes usually are. But no, not
like,
so.
no.
Not so with this one, which made the character, in my opinion, more relatable because most people would not look at spooky, like, probably super incredibly deadly foresty monster stuff and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fight it.
Yeah. Unless you have anger problems.
Yes.
Then maybe, but.
One warning for the book that I can think of is, and it doesn't go into detail, but one of the characters continually brings up and upsets the main character, by bringing up their dead name.
Oh.
But it's only, I think, twice, maybe 3 times. But it's not, I don't know how you describe it, graphic per se. But it does happen. So that's a warning. The book, if that super bothers you.
Okay, and then mine, again, does not have any Halloween vibes whatsoever. But I could not find a book set in summer. I tried. And I was gonna use House of Good Bones, but it does not actually say what season it's in. It's in spring or summer, but it doesn't say.
It's an A season.
It's an A season where things are growing and, whatever, but that could be anything. So I ended up reading Do Me a Favor by Kathy Yardley because that actually is set in summer and it says it's set in summer. It's in like June, July. So I was like, I at this point I don't care. I just need something set in summer. Literally anything, because I could not find anything that specified that was set in summer. So that's what I read. It was very cute. It features older characters, which I love. They're both in their 40s. So one of the main characters is kind of starting over after her husband passes away, and then the other character is kind of stuck in their life, I would say. Not unhappy, but just a little stuck. And it's very cute and it's very sweet. And they definitely have like harder things that they're dealing with. The only thing I obviously cannot say like whether or not it's good rep, but from the reviews I've read, it's not good rep because the husband that died was a diabetic, was a type 1 diabetic. And a lot of people did not love how that was talked about or portrayed. I'm not diabetic, so I don't have the right to say whether or not it was good. I don't know. But I know a lot of people kind of wish it was more discussed and more talked about. And I definitely think they could have gone in on that, but I think they didn't because the character didn't want to. The little you hear about it is from her telling other people, but she obviously does not want to talk about it. So I agree it could have been talked about more, and it probably could have been better done. But that's the only thing that was kind of like a little bit strange. But since it is all in the past, it's not like a big part of the book. But it is touched on. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the rest of the book. I really enjoyed the the male main character. His grown daughter is hilarious. I adore her. But it was really cute. It was really good. It did not go how I thought it would go, but it was still good.
So all in all, I had fun with the Summerween
Yeah, I
for
did too.
sure.
I think this is actually my favorite Summerween. And maybe part of it is because we were doing it like for an episode, which I haven't in the past. In the past, it's just been for me.
Yeah.
So maybe that was partly why it was fun, but I feel like it was more
Also, the reading sprints were fun.
fun. Oh, yes.
And
That was a great time.
so that could have been it too. But hopefully, at least everybody was able to maybe catch at least one readathon or so. The readathons were definitely quite enjoyable, quite fun. Or sprints, yeah. Not what I meant. Sprints. I think my it's hard to pick, but I think my top two reads for this readathon was probably The Otherwoods and The Black Girl Survives in this one. With the girls or Girls Save the World in this one is a close third.
And I liked everything I read. Probably Hollow was one of the top, which is weird because I thought that was gonna be like my bottom one, and I really enjoyed that one. And
The art's really cute in that one too.
yeah, it's really adorable. I can't transfer the other one. Bloom, I guess. I don't know. I liked all the rest of them about the same. They're all like 4.5s for me, so I don't know.
So good reading experience for this readathon.
And the only time of year that I read horror.
Yeah.
It's because Gabby forces me to.
Mhm.
And I still have a good time. I literally will save like a horror book for like months just to have it for Summerween.
Now I need to force you to
No.
read a horror.
No. I don't want to read horror. But I will. I'll save it because I'll be like, Summerween's coming. I'll save her for Summerween if I actually find a horror I want to read.
All the books that I saved for Summerween, I didn't end up reading.
Yeah, that too.
I was like, oh, this could be for Summerween, and this could, and this could, and then I didn't.
Well, in fairness, I was gonna read the Box in the Woods, not as one of the books, and then I ended up not doing it because I couldn't be bothered to go to the library and get it.
So, all in all, it was a great Summerween, a great time, and we'll have some of those pages linked below. Thanks for listening to Magic and Mayhem. All right, bye.